Hi, I'm Robert, but I suppose you all know that. Can't imagine these things get a lot of strangers now, do they? First of all, I want to thank you for even holding this event for me. I try to tell myself to stay humble, but seeing all these faces that are so near and dear... excuse me, is there a problem? I was sort of in the middle of my speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here together to celebrate the life and remember the spirit of Robert Michael Hawthorne, friend, brother, husband, unpopular author.
You know, it's really easy to forget you're at your own funeral. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if you go or not. It's not like it's a matter of life or death. It's fine. But really, thank you all for coming. It truly means the world to me.
Thank you all for coming. I'm sure it would have meant the world to me. It's never easy to say goodbye, but the nature of life revolves around death and mortality. Each breath becomes sacred when you realize it may be your last. No one understood this better than Robert. It was at an unrelated funeral, much like this one, when he was approached by a fellow mourner.
So what now?
John asked, his voice breaking like glass at a Jewish wedding.
I guess we have to move on.
How can you say that? How can you just forget about her?
Moving on and forgetting are two different things.
No, a cat in the state of Maryland are two different things. Moving on and forgetting are two sides of the same coin.
Why do you think coins have two sides?
Anger filled John the way hydrogen filled the Hindenburg, hot, bubbly, and ready to explode. But before he could scream, John pondered the question.
Okay, I'll play the fish.
What?
I'll take the bait.
A coin may be the same thing, heads or tails, but it's still a coin. It's deciding the difference that makes the difference. You see, life and death are like that. You can buy the same things with them, but that doesn't make them the same. It's the choice and the interconnections that bind them and all of us. Death just means the coin has flipped. It doesn't mean it's not worth something.
This information stunned John. Taken aback, he blurted out,
Wow! I never thought of it like that. I understand it so much better now. Thank you.
No worries, my boy. I still have plenty left to teach you. Now, why didn't any of you tell me? That didn't make any goddamn sense. Sure, hindsight's 20/20, but being dead is nothing like being a nickel.
He was a mentor to me in a lot of ways. He was also like a father, and even more. Not by blood, DNA, or sperm, but in ways paternity tests couldn't solve. He came into my little life when I was a lonely young boy. I was able to grow up into a much less lonely little young man. You see, I was orphaned at a young age, and he stepped in, showing me the ways of the world, and teaching me my true abilities.
A little tool for this.
We spent so much time together until his tragic death. I will never forget you. And I will keep you, your purpose, and your mission alive. We will triumph.
What a remarkable young boy. So average, yet still so heroic. Now I hope he can survive without me. Who knows, maybe now that the great master is dead, the great student can finally achieve the greatness.
Hi, I'm Lily, the love of his life. What can I say about love? Nothing that he hasn't already said to me. It was funny the way we met, and it was funny the way we broke up, and it was funny the way we got back together. This is my favorite version of our relationship. Do you like that painting?
It's nice.
You can be honest.
Can I?
Yeah, tell me what you really think.
Well, not a big fan.
No, you're a small air conditioner.
What?
Joke of the cancel. Anyway, why don't you like that painting? She asked the question innocently. He turned and smiled and promptly listed a dozen reasons to hate the painting.
Well, the brush strokes are off, the lining is crooked, the eyes are dead, the texture is too dull, the coloring is too vivid. It just doesn't capture the essence of the person.
Oh,
Why do you ask?
I painted it. It's a self-portrait. A wave of horror crashed through our hero like a wave. How could he have insulted this beautiful creature?
I'm sorry.
Don't be, I asked.
No, I'm sorry. Let me make it up to you.
Really? Ah.
Dinner?
So he took me to dinner and ordered something I was allergic to. I needed to go to the ER, but there were no ambulances available and his car wouldn't start. So he stole a horse-drawn carriage from the park and took me there himself. From there it was a whirlwind romance. Yes, we had our misunderstandings, like the time I thought he was cheating on me with my best friend, but she was just trying on lingerie so he could see what it looked like on her. Give it to me. Or the time he thought I was actually a leprechaun. And though we were on and off, and up and down, and especially in and out, we ended up getting together and living happily ever after. In this version of the story, at least.
You know, so many crazy things had to happen for us to be together. Mistakes, hijinks, oh, so many hijinks. But in the end, we got together. And everything was just... It was, shit, I can't remember. Happily ever after, I guess.
What a touching tribute from a touching woman. Not that I get much of a chance at touching women. Anyway, it seems that Robert was both a mentor and a lover, but there is so much more to a man than just what he was seen as. Who was Robert Michael Hawthorne to himself?
Now, let me tell you.
Oh, but we cannot ask Robert because he is dead.
I am dead.
So, we have the next best thing. Please welcome Robert's brother, Sean.
We was in the war together, so we ain't like real brothers. Like, his mom isn't also my mom. I mean, she might be. I don't know. My mom died when I was only 30, so I never had a chance to ask her. Anyways, point being, even if we ain't got the same eyes, or hair, or hereditary diseases, we're brothers. Always have been, always will be. I remember the first time we met. It was in the war. Get down! Do you want your legs to be blowing over the damn place? It'll be pretty hard to walk around with no legs. Hell's balls, man! What were you thinking?
I wasn't.
You could have got your damn legs blown off.
Yeah, I heard you say that, but then I got to thinking, I bet I could rock the wheelchair look.
Either that, you just have to crawl around like a baby.
I could ask dames to nurse me like one.
Yeah, that idea ain't half bad.
Ain't half good neither.
So I hope you don't mind if I get all philosophical here all of a sudden, but what do you think the purpose of all this is? You know, all the bombing and bayoneting and killing and shit.
Well, I don't think there is always a purpose. I think sometimes things just happen randomly.
See, I just don't buy that.
Well, hey, what you mean?
I just don't think things happen randomly. Like, there's all these little coincidences, but they ain't random.
Oh, okay, I get that. But maybe, just maybe, it's like people need to feel validated. Like anything they do has a purpose. So they take things that clearly don't make sense, like this here war, and give a meaning anyways. So everything is random, but nothing is by accident.
Wow. You completely changed my viewpoint on this complex issue. You're pretty great.
Oh, shucks. I wouldn't say that, but you saved my life yet again, it seems.
Anytime.
The two men would maintain their friendship for many years, traveling up and down the sands of time and tides of war together. Adventure after daring adventure tested our boys in brass, and each time they came back stronger and more resilient. Not only as soldiers, but as brothers.
But the life of a soldier is a brief one, no matter the circumstances. I look back at my time there and remember all the sights I've seen and all the memories I can't escape. We saw the fall of Agrabah and heard the crowds cheering in the streets. We saw the first ship enter the bay in 20 years with fresh fruit to trade away. We saw the first flag of freedom fly over that once barbaric land. And we did it all for democracy. And a little bit for oil. It was like 60-40. We met so many people on our travels. Saw the worst of times and the best of times. Firefighters and arsonists, generals and dictators. But one thing was always true. Amid the battle and the bloodshed, he was always there. And now, he's dead. Life has robbed us of its most valiant soldier, and I have been robbed of my most valued friend. But no matter where you are, I will keep fighting the good fight, and I won't give up until we win the day or die trying.
How heroic were we? I mean, I know, it's not good to glorify death, but, well, who am I to say that?
Hi, I'm back. I want to apologize. The story I told you all earlier is true. Well, it happened, but this was our relationship.
Wow, I didn't think it was possible, but you're even more stunning than your artwork.
Well, that's not saying much. If I recall, you didn't like my paintings.
No, they age like a fine wine.
You didn't shoot out yourself.
I love you. I mean, I know you're lying, but still.
Oh, I'm not lying to you. But if you play a card right, I could be lying unto you.
Oh, what's the poker term? Straight
Well,
flush?
it's insane how much I love you.
How much do you love me?
I mean, like any good feminist, my world revolves around my man.
I really like your son.
The earth doesn't revolve around the sun, it serves.
No, I am the only one who should be knowing synonyms here, not you.
All right, well, let's play a game. I say a word, you tell me the synonym.
All right. I seem to have forgotten my pocket thesaurus, though.
You think you can manage, big boy?
Yes, I will try.
All right. Table.
I don't have one for this.
I bet you wish you had your dictionary.
Yes, I do.
All right, one more. Love.
You!
Right answer. In that moment, love filled his heart like a tank of gas fills a car, filling him with the fuel ready to combust into the lust that filled more than just his heart. In that moment, he understood love for the first time and spoke it to her receptive ears.
I think I understand love for the first time ever.
Go on.
Love is this beautiful, amazing force that controls and calls and beckons me to you. It's the clarion call that reverberates throughout the myriad of wrong choices I've made, all leading back to you. And now that I have you, I never want to let you go. I will claw and cling to the idea of you, because it is the idea of you that I live for. So I guess what I'm asking is, will you marry me?
Lily's heart pounded against her chest, which in turn pounded against her dress. However, she would not be wearing the dress for very long. That night they made sweet, tender love. She ached for him and he for her, and together they joined together as two lovers do, intertwined.
Okay. Shut up, all right? This part it goes on a little too long. It's a little smutty, so if you don't mind, just flip and thank you. Okay.
Our next speaker probably understands Robert better than anyone. His father, Francis.
No.
I have nothing positive to say about my son. He was a disappointment in life, as I'm sure he will be in death as well. Thank you. That's all I have to say. Goodbye.
Goodbye, that's all I have to say.
Please don't go.
Goodbye, that's all I have to say.
Then say something else.
There's nothing else to say.
But I love you.
I don't.
Could you try?
I have been!
Please, just think about what you're doing to me, all right?
I've been thinking about you this whole time, but have you been thinking about me? No, you haven't. All I am to you is a prop. A blank canvas for you to throw yourself onto. I don't want to be you anymore. I want to be me.
It's okay, son. I don't love you either. That's all I have to say. Goodbye.
So, it seems we have heard from all of Robert's family and friends, but there is one person we've missed. His enemy.
You haven't been paying attention. They're all my enemies.
Frankenstein's creature hated his master, and we hate you.
You can hear me.
I am you. We all are you. That's your problem.
No, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me here? You're ruining my funeral.
Why did you do any of this to us? I didn't ask to be made, and I sure as hell didn't ask to be like this. I've seen cardboard cutouts that were more three-dimensional than me.
I didn't make you.
Is it so much to ask to want to be someone?
That's all I want. I want to make a difference. I want to make people feel good. I know I'm not that great at it, but I'm trying my best.
Your best isn't good enough. You're a talentless hack. What the hell are these lines? Hydrogen isn't bubbly. A wave can't crash like a wave. And why would a priest joke about having sex with women? Did you think about any of this? No, of course not. But do you know the worst part? There's no one real here. No one to say how good you were or weren't. Do you hear that? Silence. You have to create all these characters and scenarios to memorialize yourself. I feel bad for me, but I feel terrible for you.
Is it really that bad?
It's not good.
Well, then what's it like?
Do you ever feel like you have no say in your life?
Yes, yeah.
It's like that, except you really don't.
No, it's got to be better than that. I mean, isn't it better to exist at all, even if it feels like, a half-life? Isn't it? Hey, no, come on now, don't go. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry that I have to feel loved and valued, and I'm sorry that I'm human and terrible, and I'm sorry that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry that I pour everything into you and that I take everything from you, and I'm sorry that you don't have free will, but then really who the fuck does? Please don't do this to me, okay? Okay, please, I need you, all right? Please forgive me, for I have sinned, okay? Please. Are you there? Are any of you there? Come back. Okay.
Suicide. Neighbors heard the gunshot around 9:30.
Here's his note. Jesus.
What is it?
He wrote his own obituary.
Dark.
Beloved author and journalist Robert Michael Hawthorne took his own life after a long struggle with depression and writer's block. When asked for comment, his family and friends were not available. It seems he didn't have any. When asked in a 2012 interview how he would like to be remembered, the struggling author answered, "My characters. When everything else is stripped away, that's all that's left." Some might see Hawthorne's existence as lonely or a call for help, and maybe it was, maybe it is selfish to create worlds that have to love you. But then, isn't God selfish? Aren't parents selfish? Aren't we all? Today we mourn the loss of a lesser literary talent and his unfulfilled and unfulfilling work. But please, do not cry. Smile. Create something beautiful. I never could. God bless Robert Michael Hawthorne.